Okay, so we're rolling. Welcome everybody today. My name's Kelly and I'm here today with the beautiful Aston from Hairhouse. And we're going to have a little chat about bridging the gap between what consumers might find out about their hair at home and what they need to know from a pro. So Aston, I'd love you to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about who you are, where you're from and what your history is with Hairhouse.
Okay, thank you for having me today. Aston, I'm the salon and retail education manager at Hairhouse. I have been in this amazing industry for nearly 20 years now. This is my 20th year, actually. So I love all things hair. I love our industry. I've been with Hairhouse for just over 10 years, so half of my career with Hairhouse, and it's been such an amazing journey. We get to play with and learn about so many different products, and to bridge the gap between consumers and our professional industry, which is our entire mission.
Yeah.
I'm studying trichology, so the fact that we're moving in this direction of science and skinification, which we'll talk about soon, is right up my street. I'm so into this.
All about the nerd life.
Yeah, all about the nerd life. Really, for us, our mission is just getting that professional world to the consumer in a way that they can digest and understand, but not actually lose the meaning and purpose behind what we're recommending and why.
Yeah, so I guess it's more than just about shampoo and conditioner now, right? Isn't it? Like there's so much information out there and misinformation out there
Yes.
that it's important we have the pro conversation to drive the right choices for people.
That's it. I mean, we need the shampoo and conditioner, we need the products, but we need people to have the right shampoo and conditioner and products for their concern or for their own hair type. Otherwise, it's just, product down the drain, money down the drain, and they always think something's wrong.
Totally. So on that, I suppose we're seeing lots of common concerns coming up in the industry. We're hearing things like no damage. We're hearing dullness or lack of shine. We're hearing about hair fall and people losing hair, which is a bit of a taboo subject, but we're trying to make it sexy again.
Yeah.
We're bringing it back.
Hair loss is hot.
So where do you think these trends are coming from and how are they being driven into that pro space?
I think, I guess gloss for a start. It's such a sign of healthy hair, isn't it? So it's about seeing gloss, seeing health, seeing strength when you see shine. So I think it's just the products that are available right now. We've got Gloss Absolute, we've got our House of Gloss promotions. Like we're living in that space now, and people want to see the shine. That's what they want to see, so they know that their hair is strong and healthy. And it's about understanding, I guess, what the hair type is in the first place, and then what we can use to achieve that. Because you can't just buy a gloss product, put it on, and say my hair is glossy and shiny. It just won't work like that if we haven't addressed root cause, which is the right product for the right type of scenario.
Absolutely. And you took the words almost out of my mouth, which we do a bit. But so when it comes to damage specifically, so how would someone know if their hair is damaged needing repair or if it just needs a gloss? Like you said, how do they know the difference?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, well, firstly, we need to find out, are we experiencing any kind of breakage? Why are we experiencing damage? Is it environmental? Is it to do with color services? Is it to do with a lack of having treatment in salon? We're not getting haircuts. Is it mechanical damage? The amount of people we have come in who sort of talk to us and they're like, my hair's breaking and I can't put my finger on it. And it's so many things layered. It's the product selection. It's the pillow slip. It's the way we brush our hair. What's the brush we're using? It could be hard water, it could be mineral buildup, which is why we have things like metal detox. We have Redken ABC if we need structure. We have all these different solutions, but if you don't know what the cause is, you can't get the right solution, and then consumers think, there's nothing for me. It just doesn't work. Everything I've tried doesn't work. And so achieving that gloss level, if we haven't started with that foundation of repair and strength, you can't then achieve gloss. So it's all really hand in hand.
Yeah, it's quite culminative. Culminative? Is that even the word?
Yeah,
By the sound.
make it a word.
Let's say it's all encompassing.
Yes.
So if it's all encompassing, so when someone comes into Hairhouse and wants that pro recommendation, what are some good things they might like to identify in their hair? I know I've gone off script here, but I feel like you know the answer to this. It's what we do. Like, what would someone be looking for to identify in their own hair to know that they have chemical damage?
Right. Okay. So someone comes in, perhaps they've been having back-to-back chemical services for years. So let's say they're getting highlights all the time.
Yeah.
So are they experiencing breakage from a point down? Are we having overlap? Is there product buildup that then contributes to chemical damage being worse than it needs to be? So we're looking at where's hair breaking from in the first place? Is it dry due to a lack of moisture, or is it dry and damaged due to chemical, heat, whatever it might be, the environmental damage. And once we've identified those things, so is it structural? Is it external? So are we talking about on the outside, or is it deep inside? Or is it simply just the environment they're in?
Yeah.
Once we've identified all of that, we can say, okay, here's a solution, but it's often going to be layered. Like we said before, that skinification of hair care.
Yeah.
We do, with skincare, you're doing your cleanser, your toner, your serum, then you're doing your heavier weight moisturizing creams. You might be doing a mask once a week. That's hair care too.
Yeah.
So it's about what's our foundational damage, what's our cause, and then which are the prescriptive products essentially that we mix and match to hit every single part of that.
And this is why I think that skinification trend, that layering of products, you need that pro recommendation to understand the layers. Because as you pointed out, you might have dry hair, but is it dry because you've been doing a lot of colour, or is it just dry because you've been neglecting hydration? And that's where the pro recommendation comes in.
And
you can actually see, touch, feel.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, people wash their hair different amounts of times as well. So if someone's washing their hair every single day versus someone who might be washing it twice a week, once a week, how do they know what to use, and when do you use the product? So that's where the pro recommendation comes in, and it's understanding all the depth of those products so that people can shop easier and can look after themselves, knowing why they're looking after themselves.
Yeah, and it's not a one size fits all, right? It is that layering of products. So I think it's really important to know where you can get that advice.
Yes.
And that the people giving the advice actually know their stuff, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah.
You're all about it.
Yeah, well, and that's what we want to do. That is our mission ultimately, is to have that knowledge. We work with such amazing brands like yourself, like the whole L'Oreal group. We've got Redken, we've got L'Oreal, we've got Matrix, we've got Curology, we've got Kerastars. Like, we know all the things about these products and who they're for.
Yeah.
And so that way people can come in, and you need to be able to shift routines as well, because if we've treated that damage from the beginning, there will be a point in time where that's no longer what you need. And so you need to be able to keep coming back, keep having that pro consultation, because ultimately your goal will be to no longer have that damage.
Yeah, like evolve.
You want to evolve
out of the damage.
Want it to work, right? Yeah. So once it works, then we know we can move into that gloss, we can maintain that look. And so that's the whole thing about continuously coming back in for that pro advice. It's not just like a one visit, here's the answer, nothing ever changes.
Yeah, absolutely. So speaking of gloss, House of Gloss.
Yes.
PPD and Hairhouse have partnered up on this before, and we're going to do it again because it was a huge success. So why is this trend everywhere?
I just think it's a sign of hair health. I think, again, like skin, people want glow, people want gloss, people want expensive hair. You know, they want their hair, and whether it's dyed hair, whether you're blonde, whether you're brunette, whatever it might, whether you have natural hair, you want that gloss, you want that shine, you want that sort of, and I think people these days also, you can have it on an external level, you can have it like putting a lip gloss on, but I think people want it deeper than that. I think people want to wake up and that's their hair. So I think the trend is growing actually. I think it started somewhere and it's escalating into a much deeper, more long-term commitment.
And I think to your point as well, gloss used to be something that was reserved for people having colour. But there are so many people now wanting gloss that maybe haven't coloured their hair, that want that topical solution or the deep repair if you're having colour.
Yes.
So I guess, do you think seasons, speaking to people with natural hair, not necessarily colour, do you think seasonally the demand for gloss changes?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, summer, generally, I would say that people probably, it's the sun's out, you're in the water all the time. Your goal is probably more just to be having an amazing time. And, you know, I think that sometimes people kind of go, I'm just living my best life. I want my hair to be beachy. Yeah, I want my hair to be beachy and amazing, but the gloss is probably less so coming naturally at that time of year. You know, we've got to really add in some topical treatments to get that look at that time of year. So coming out of summer, amping up the gloss conversations again. People are coming in and they're wanting, you know, do we get a clear gloss In-salon, you know, with Super Sync? Do we get, are we buying Glow Mania and boosting back that glow again? Are we doing a bigger, more, I suppose, like in-depth treatment system where we're doing Super Sync In-salon, and then we're getting our home care going with like Blonde Absolute. So hydration, we're post-summer. We need that hydration. We need it to absorb so that we get that glow and that gloss. So yeah, I do think it can be seasonal, but I also think it's just an all-year trend. I think people want to be glowing and healthy all year.
And I think that is that other knock-on of the skinification that we keep talking about. People want glowy, dewy skin, and they want glowy, dewy hair all year round.
Yeah.
So yes, seasonal, yes for coloured hair clients, yes for people who have never coloured their hair. It's just a yes all around for gloss.
Yes, I think it's for everyone. I really do. I think it's for everyone. I think it's all year round. And I think it's here to stay too.
Yeah, so do I. It's a bit like when people talked about balayage was going to see its course. It's never seeing its
Yeah,
course.
balayage and lived-in hair and textured waves, they'll be gone soon, don't you worry. I don't think so. I think
They're here
that and then
forever.
that with gloss
Yes.
is,
Yeah, game
yeah,
changer, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so moving on from that beautiful, glossy, healthy hair world, let's talk about something a little bit uncomfortable for people, and that's hair loss.
Yeah.
So, when we talk about hair loss, I suppose it's one of those subjects that people don't really like to talk about because it can come from many different reasons. So, what different factors can affect hair loss in someone?
You know what? It's almost a shame that people feel so anxious to talk about hair loss, and we see it all the time. You know, people come in and they're feeling really embarrassed and quiet about it, but it's so common. I can't even. It's so common because there are so many different causes. It can be. I mean, obviously we've got genetics, sure, and there's so much you can do. There's trauma, there's stress, there's misproduct use, there's even hormonal, like pregnancy, teen years. There's so many things that cause a loss of hair.
Yeah.
So identifying firstly like where you're losing hair from and in what way, how long has it been? It's not so much about daily loss, because sometimes people do panic about that. And that's a quick education moment there to, okay, that's okay. This is not a big deal. But what does it look like over time? And then finding a root cause. And it's actually not usually very hard to find. Once you start having that conversation with someone and they feel a bit more comfortable, like what's been going on for you for the last 6 months? Tell me a little bit about what's been happening. You almost always find there was some big thing that happened for them. It could be even a job change that was really unexpected, or childbirth, or an illness. Like they might have even just had COVID. There was such an influx of people post COVID and flu season and things like that, where they've had loads of more medication than normal. And then 3-4 months later, everyone's coming and going, oh my gosh, this happened to me. And you can figure it out quite quickly.
Yeah.
So you need root cause for a start, like with anything.
Yep.
And then you can work through solutions and pathways and programs that people can go on. And it's not as scary and daunting as anyone would think.
Yeah,
That's
and
why
it
we're
is,
here.
yeah, absolutely, and it is really common. So I guess something that I used to get asked quite a bit that we still see in the industry: how can someone who's not a trichologist or a hairdresser understand the difference between hair fall and hair breakage?
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that one's a good one. I suppose here's me blonde, if there's any hair floating around on your person at the time, you just need to have a look at that hair. Where is it coming from? Is that actually coming from the root? Is there a bulb, or is that a snapped off strand of hair? Is it
Yeah.
the full length, or is it a piece from somewhere?
Yeah,
Instantly we know then, are we dealing with breakage, or is that actually falling?
yeah.
Now, obviously there's an amount of hair we lose in a day, which is completely fine and within the, I suppose, sort of predictable.
Let's do some mythbusters for a minute. What
Yeah.
is that amount? How much hair do we
Look,
lose a day?
50, it's different for everyone.
Yeah.
It is, but 50 to 100 strands a day is completely normal. And it presents in different ways, because if you're washing your hair every single day, it may not feel like a huge amount because it's going to fall off at the coffee shop, on the walk to work, on the walk back, at lunch, and you might not actually be collecting the entire pile. But if you're someone who perhaps only washes and styles your hair a few times a week, you might find that you're in the shower and you're going like, oh my gosh, what is going on in my hands right now? But that's where it comes down to sort of knowing and understanding your own hair, and that, is that normal or is it not? Has it changed? Does it look different?
Yeah.
So yeah, 50 to 100, totally normal.
So when we get to the outside of normal, if we've ascertained that it's not breakage, it is actually hair fall.
Yeah.
What kind of solutions do we have to stop that problem and regrow new hair? Like, what key ingredients would we be looking for in that realm?
Yeah, and this is back to our skinification of hair care again. Like
Absolutely.
our customers, and they're just so aware of ingredients now. So they know the words, they're coming in with the words, and we're talking like niacinamide, aminexil, caffeine, like stimulation of scalp.
We all need caffeine.
Even, old school, we're going rosemary. I mean, that's been forever. And,
Yes.
the tingle. These are the ingredients that they're doing their research. They're coming in and going, what has these ingredients, So that we've got loads of products across the L'Oreal group, across other brands that do have these ingredients that help stimulate scalp, that help to strengthen from the root through the strands, so that you're not only not having the hair fall, but you're not having any weakening and breakage as the strand continues on.
Yeah.
So, these are the ingredients people are needing, and that's what these products are made of.
Absolutely. And that's that pro recommendation again, that making sure that you're having a conversation with someone who can actually steer you in the right direction, because you may have hair fall and breakage at the same time. And it's really
Yes.
important that you address Like,
Both.
how do you even start, right? So you need that pro recommendation to get you there.
Yes, and that's where the layering comes and the routine comes. So you might be using something that's both for density but also for strengthening.
Yeah.
So whether it's that you're and you can rotate, you can layer. Are we using Pureology Strength Cure because we're having that weakness throughout the ends? Are we using Biolarge Full Density because we need to grow back and we're recovering from a situation where we've had hair loss amp up at that time? But like we said earlier, these things continue to change as well. So it's not to say that just because at this moment in your life, that's your routine, that this is forever your routine. It's all about coming back and where are you at now and readdressing it.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's so important, is to understand that it's about continuing to come back and continuing to reassess and reconsult with a pro that says this is where you are today and this is what you need.
It's almost like that if symptoms persist, please see your doctor.
Yeah,
like if
come
this
back.
hasn't worked for you, you need to come
or
back
if
and
it
speak
has,
to your doctor.
like if you were saying, oh my gosh, I had this much hair fall and that was so unlike me.
Yeah.
You've now had your solution and you're realizing that's no longer an issue. Come back.
Yeah.
What do we need now? You don't need to be using that because again, when we spoke about damage, sometimes damage is actually about using the wrong products. So it might have been right at a point, but now we're overdoing it or we're using the wrong ingredients for our current environment and situation on our scalp. Your scalp is, it's a living organ. It needs the right stuff, just like your skin.
Yeah, and I mean, I love how passionate you are about this stuff because I am too. So we're
warned
like,
you.
I know you warned me, but it's great. I could talk for hours. But I just want to, speaking of like environment, something that I think is really important to a lot of people as well is that sustainability commitment. So how do we know that we're caring for our hair and scalp, but how are we also caring for our planet and making sure we're making good choices in that way?
Yes.
So what kind of things should someone be looking for if they care about both?
Well, I think that people should be looking for brands that are really into sustainability. Like, do they have refills? Hint, hint.
Refills.
Renewable energy, like with their manufacturing, like what are we doing? Are we trying to save water? Are things recyclable? These are, exactly like the L'Oreal group.
Yeah.
Over to you to plug that. No, but honestly, it's all about, that's what it is. It's about, can I get a refill? Is this sustainable?
Yeah.
What is this made of? And that's what people want. Like people want results for sure. Like we know that people are buying products because they want results. Ultimately, it's about giving them what they need, but they want sustainability too. We're at a time now, I think, where you can have both and the options are there. So you're not going to go with someone who's not doing it the right way for the planet because we want to look glossy, we want to look amazing, we want healthy hair, but we want to be able to live somewhere in this world with that.
Of course.
Yeah.
Aston, I could talk to you for days, but thank you so much for your time today. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for sharing your wisdom and insights.
Thank you for having me.
You're so welcome. And if anyone's looking for the pro recommendation, you need to go and see Aston and the team at Hairhouse.
Thank you. We did it. Do you know? I lost that after the first car.